Hi guys, this is Erica Weston with Fox Sports Midwest, and you're listening to my favorite St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio.
Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by Manscaped, the very best in men's below-the-waist grooming.
Oh my God.
Get 20% off and free shipping with promo code LGB at manscaped.com. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped.
As the world's only personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment and your DNA, ID Life provides its members with high-quality ingredients backed by pure science.
It's science.
Check out rockinthatidlife.com and speak with Dustin about how you can reach your goals today. That's rockinthatidlife.com.
Welcome to Season 9, Episode 20 of Let's Go Blues Radio. We're the often imitated but never duplicated. We're the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped. And by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment of your DNA. Talk to Dustin at rockinthatidlife.com. That's rockinthatidlife.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. We're broadcasting live on Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. This is franchise episode number 286 all time. Your hosts tonight are usually Curt, Price, Bill Day, and Jeff Ponder. And for your listening pleasure, for the next little while, we'll be talking St. Louis Blues hockey, detailing the current series versus the Knights, and breaking down our thoughts on the team right now. To interact with the show on social media, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of our social media info is posted at letsgoblues.com. where you can also find past episodes of the show, browse the fan discussion forum, and visit our shop where you can get some awesome Blues-themed t-shirts and stickers that help support the show. We are dual live streaming right now on YouTube and Facebook, so thank you for joining us. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the show. And if you're listening on the podcast, we do live stream the show on YouTube and Facebook every week during the season, so feel free to check that out in the future. What's happening, fellas? Got a lot to talk about tonight. How you guys doing tonight?
No, we don't.
No?
There's nothing to talk about.
Did you guys slide off the road? You are Missouri. Some of you are Missouri drivers. You slide off the road in the snow today?
Oh, please. No, I don't leave the house when it snows. Come on.
I guess, well, you guys probably have a little less work to do this show, as we have a guest co-host this week. His name is Stephen Walden. You can find him at StephenWalden.com, at Stephen Walden on Twitter and Instagram. He is a St. Louis artist, and he's pretty well known in the St. Louis area for sports paintings and primarily the Cardinals and Blues. If his name doesn't ring a bell, I'm sure his work will look familiar to you. You can check out his website at StephenWalden.com. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. It's I love doing this stuff. As I said in the green room before, I'm an attention whore, so glad to be a part of it anytime that I can get my name out there. So self-promotion, man, that's how we get our health insurance paid as an artist.
4 attention whores in the same spot. This is going to be interesting.
Well, I was going to say that actually Bill and I are just going to take the show off because you've got a guest co-host, so Bill, you want to have just like a rock, paper, scissors tournament the whole show or something?
Yeah. Should have set up our PlayStations and just played some Chell. Would have been the way to go. That would have
been great. That's the way to do it. Speaking of real quick of Stephen Walden's work, look over Curt's left shoulder there.
Yep.
There's a little bit of a glare for us, but you can kind of see it there.
I can.
Cujo.
Yeah, it's the Cujo print. Yeah, very nice. Cujo 3D print.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can see it in my screen, but mine's hanging on over my left shoulder. But it's against the wall.
My head is like floating on top of it. So,
yeah.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. The old barn.
Yep.
Yeah, mine is over there, and I am not going to go get it. But trust me, it's hanging up. If you're on Twitter, I posted a picture of it earlier today. And mine is the Winter Classic painting that he did, which is very cool.
Thank you.
So I spoke about this, I guess, a few shows ago, how my girlfriend Amy ordered a print from you, Stephen, which is, we mentioned behind me, for Christmas. And long story short, she ended up with 3 prints. So I contacted you to say thank you and asked if you wanted to come on the show. And not only did you want to come on the show, you said you wanted to come on and hang out for the duration and talk some hockey. So this should be fun.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, for having me, and I'm new to hockey, so I think that my knowledge of hockey had started with Blades of Steel, shing on the NES, and and then carried into NHL '94 and the Genesis, where it's I didn't really play so much as I picked a team that my friend Chad would then use Bob Probert to murder everyone. And then didn't actually. I never lived in a St. Louis, a hockey town until I moved to St. Louis in '04. And then when the Rams left town, the Blues really went even more to the front of the line in terms of sports attention. I think the city kind of sublimated its anger into Cronky, you don't think we can support a sports team? We'll show you, and
Yep.
and that's when the Blues, I think they experienced an even bigger spike, probably the biggest one that I'd seen until the Stanley Cup. So
I'm going to share a few of your photos here that you've shared on social media. So you've got
awesome.
You and Curt Warner here with a piece that you did. Looks like
which one's Curt Warner? I can't tell.
That's Mike.
I get that a lot.
Is it Mike Singletary and Curt Warner there with the Bears jersey?
The sweetness, baby.
Gotcha. Sorry, so close.
Yeah, I did that. That was a Big League Impact event, Adam Wainwright's charity, bigleagueimpact.org. Check them out. They're great. And that was a real star-studded event. Curt was there. Ozzy Smith was there, not Osbourne, was there. Of course, Adam was there hosting a bunch of his Cardinals guys. And he also got John Hamm to come in, which is what people drafted their fantasy football team and played against each other. And John was great. He gave me shit for wearing a Bears jersey. He's like, "Oh, you're awfully brave, wearing a Bears jersey here in St. Louis." I'm like, it's Peyton, man. Peyton gets a pass, It's not like I'm wearing a Roenick jersey. So, yeah. So, I mean, Peyton's, he's in the Pantheon. And he was like, okay, fair point. So, but he was great, and it was a really, really fun event. And then I worked with Curt several times. So, yeah, there's John. Yeah, that was the event. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Very cool. And then there's the Adam Wainwright. You and is that cool?
That's amazing.
You and Wainwright have a unique relationship. I know he's a big fan of your work, is he not?
Yeah, he is. And, he really helped me get my career started with that photo right there. I had just started painting because I'm an accidental painter. I didn't know that I could paint until 2014. So I've only been doing this for a little over 6 years. And, wow. This was a piece that I'd done for the then president of Rankin Jordan. It was 2015, I believe, was the year. It was when Adam, when he had the injury, when he was batting. And I think he tweaked his knee or something. I can't remember what it was. And he was using the downtime to, as Adam does, to give back to the community. But before that happened, the CEO, she had commissioned me to do a piece of Adam, and she knew which one she wanted it to be. She wanted it to be this one. And when she found out that Adam was going to be touring the facility, she said, is there any way you could have it done so that, when he comes by, he can actually see it? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And so, the planets aligned, and I said, but I tell you what, I really want to work with his charity. Would you ask him and give him my card and, reach out to me if that's something that he would be interested in doing. And I knew that he was coming by on a Wednesday morning, and it was Wednesday afternoon, and my phone just started blowing up with Twitter notifications. I knew what was happening. Adam had tweeted this out, and this photo, he actually, asked if he could do this, this pose with the painting. And he said, yeah, Stephen, we love the artwork. It's amazing. We would love to have you, help us out with Big League Impact. And it just skyrocketed. And that really got my name out there. And way led on to way, and I was able to use this to then approach other charities and to say, like, I've done work with Adam Wainwright and so on and so forth. And I owe him a lot. And he's a wonderful dude. Even if he weren't, a mega athlete or whatever, if he were just, Adam who worked 2 cubicles down for me, I would still want to, go to lunch with this guy. I'd still want to, ask him what he did over the weekend. He's just a genuinely engaging, good, funny dude, and just really, really glad to be able to call him a friend.
There's with Margot Kidder, you got and for the folks on the podcast who can't see this later on, we're just showing some of Stephen's work. The previous one was Anna Wainwright piece doing the clenching. Was it after was it when they won the pennant, or was it the World Series win? I forgot which one.
I think that was NLDS. It was not when he struck out Beltran. A lot of people are like, oh, that's the Beltran strikeout, okay. But that happened on the road, and he's wearing the home uniform there. I'm pretty sure that was NLDS against the Pirates, and I think, you guys were just talking about it. It was It was the year that Stan Musial died because they were wearing the patch. I remember because we were talking about Tarasenko, and how the Blues scored 6 that game, like the day that Stan died. And we scored 6 for Stan and all that. But whatever year that aligns with, that's when that happened. So, but yeah, this is the Margot Kidder. There it is, right there. Yeah.
Yeah. 13.
Margot Kidder was able to meet her at the Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois, which is held yearly, in years where we're not having a global apocalypse. And they have, people there who were from pop culture and usually have Superman ties. And that year they had Margot Kidder come in, and I knew that I wanted to do a piece because I'm a huge Superman fan, specifically the Christopher Reeve movies, and wanted to see her. And then they had also announced that Sarah Douglas was also going to be there, who, depending on how much people know about, Superman movie lore, she was one of the Phantom Zone villains. She was Ursa in Superman 2. And it was great because she had like a spot right next to Margot when I was walking this up there to get her to autograph it, to take a photo. And I get it signed by Margot, and it's like I'm just totally high from that experience. 7-year-old Stephen is super happy. And then I hear from over my shoulder, like, excuse me, sir, 'cause she's British. And she's like, where's mine? And she totally talked shit to me for not having a painting of her. And I texted my sister immediately, my older sister, my big sister, who, Superman 2 was like a babysitter for us on a VHS when we were growing up. And I'm like, you're never going to believe it. Ursa totally just talked shit to me. So that was a lifetime highlight.
And we got some blues ones here. You and Brett Hall. You did a Brett Hall painting? Yeah.
Yeah, Brett's, I think everybody's probably run into Brett at some point or another if they've been in St. Louis, and if they go to a bar in St. Louis. And this was for a blues fundraiser, and it was great. Brett loved it, and he loved the piece, which it's from the clown jersey era. And he said, I remember when he saw the photo, the piece, he was like, oh man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I tell you what, I love your painting. And I hated that fucking jersey right there. he said, could you paint me in like the old jersey? And Brett had, he'd had a couple beverages, and I love Brett Hall. I absolutely love Brett Hall. And he says, could you paint me in the old jersey? I'm like, yeah, I can paint you whatever you want. He's like, oh man, so you could paint like Jeter. Because he's a huge Yankees fan. Like, yeah, I can paint you. He goes, oh, could you paint Wayne? And I'm like, Campbell? Nice. And I'm like, oh, fuck, he means Wayne Gretzky. And I'm like, yeah, I could totally paint Wayne. And he says, yeah, man, I'd love for you to paint a Wayne. You know what? I'd love for you to paint one of me in the old jersey, back when hockey was fun. I fucking hated that jersey.
That's it's so funny because he was very outspoken against that jersey when they ditched him for the redesign in 90. Was it 7, 8? So
6.
So they,
I think so.
yeah,
Really?
he was outspoken against that jersey when they, when they changed to a new one then. And
Has he wanted to keep it or he hated it?
No, he hated the clown jersey.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
when they moved on from the clown to the next one, it was he was very outspoken against it. And so it's funny to hear him say that now. He just still holds that grudge against that jersey.
Yeah, I think it's, it's got the stink of Keenan on it. So
yeah, that probably has a lot to do with it too.
Well, and I think he said it right before they asked him what he thought of the jersey when they released it. Didn't he say, "We're the Blues. Why do we have red in our jerseys?"
Yeah, he made that comment too. Yep.
Real quick, I just want to add before we get to this next picture that Curt's showing. You mentioned Curt. You had the Superman photo up, and then you had the Brett Hall one up, and then Steven mentions that he's at any. If you've ever been to a bar in St. Louis, you've seen Brett Hall. I think Brett Hall is like the St. Louis Superman. I think he has found a way to be in every bar all at once in all of St. Louis. So you go into a bar and you're like, oh, hey, it's Brett Hall. And then you walk into another one 10 minutes later and you're like, wait a minute, I just saw Brett Hall. What's he doing here? He's just found a way to do it.
Oh, and the other story that goes with Brett is, 2 days after, I get a call from a Dallas number. I don't know anybody in Dallas now. And it's Brett. He's giving me a call and he said, hey, we're having a retirement party at my house for Barrett Jackman. Could you paint Barrett? And maybe like, we have the guys over and, maybe they autograph or, they write notes or whatever on the back of the painting. I'm like, oh, fuck yes, I can, Mr. Hall, And so that was really cool. That was that maybe 2016 is when that happened, and it was over at Brett and Darcy's house, and Brett had set me up, and it was great because Pronger was already there when I got there, and I was setting up, and he and Brett were talking, and Brett, he elbows Pronger. He's like, oh, you got to check this shit out, man. Take a look at these glasses. I don't know what he does. It's got some 3D shit or whatever. And I turn to Pronger. I'm like, that is the technical term for it. It's 3D shit. He goes, I don't know what it's called, smart ass. And so I set up. He sets me up in I think there was a piano in there. I can't remember exactly. But on the other side of the room, there is it's almost like an 8x10 or 11x14 sketch of Brett, but done by Leroy Neiman, who was like the guy that, when I started doing art originally, that was like who I modeled my art off of. He is, if you don't know who Leroy Neiman is, you know who he is. I mean, he's the guy with the weird mustache in the Rocky movies. He's, does the splattery, colorful looking paintings. And it was such like a, had I been like an Xbox or a PlayStation game, like an achievement would have blipped up on my screen to say, achievement unlocked, and it was great. And then we went into the other room, and all the guys were there. It was the night the Kings were in town, and they had finished the game. And then the old timers were there first. And then everybody from the team shows up, and we all go into this one room, and with Barrett, and they play a video of just everyone who can't make it there. A lot of the former teammates, a lot of guys I don't know who they are. Kachuk was on there. I didn't recognize Gretzky, when he came up and he wished Barrett a happy retirement, and it was just a really phenomenal night, and just really grateful to Brett and Darcy for their graciousness and, and their hospitality. And, it was a night and a moment that I'll never forget. So.
There's Hulk Hogan. He's got the Hulk Hogan portrait that you did.
Yeah.
That's
and I don't mean
cool.
to brag or anything, but when I met him, he did call me brother. So,
Nice.
We're like, he calls everyone brother. So that way he never has to remember anyone's name.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I've always said that I want to be called brother by Hulk Hogan and motherfucker by Samuel L. Jackson. That's the two things I want in life.
Well, I know that the Hulk Hogan thing can't happen. He was great, approached him, and I mean, this of all my photos with celebrities, I don't get nervous. I've only gotten nervous twice with meeting celebrities. I wasn't nervous with Hulk, but oh my God, I sure was happy. You know, I mean, I'm cheesing so hard, you know, like a split watermelon, you know, with him, and, you know, and he walked up or when I walked up to him and I had the painting, it's 3 foot by 4 foot, so it's huge. He just kind of stopped and he looked, goes, "Oh, is that you?" I said, "Well, actually, it's you." And he's like, "All right, smart ass, get over here." And I walk over there, and he wants to talk about it, showing 3D glasses. He's cool. And he turns to me, he goes, "Hey, Jimmy, come here. Come take a look at this shit." I don't think he said shit because kids were there. I was like, "Come look at this." And it's Jimmy Hart, Mouth of the South. He was in the back because he goes everywhere with Hulk. And it was really cool. Pulled me aside, did a little interview for... they were doing a reboot of the NWO later that year, and did like a little video package, and they just wanted some footage of me with the painting, and it was a really great experience, and really glad that I did it. And he was awesome.
The next one here we got is pretty cool, and we'll just briefly touch on the next couple before we get to the next one. But the Bill Clinton playing the sax from the Arsenio Hall show. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the 2 times that I was nervous with meeting a celebrity. One was with Bill. The other actually was with Hank Aaron, to keep it topical. But yeah, Bill was also very cool. He's the condensed version of this is going through the line. I didn't know if he was going to be able to see the painting. The painting had to be left aside because of Secret Service, and it was this whole event that I was attending. And before I could even ask him if he'd seen the painting, or if, we could, do a photo together, he just said, "I want to ask you if, could you stick around a little bit after this photo? Because I'd love to get a photograph with you in the painting."
Oh, that's like, cool.
Well, since you asked, he goes, "Oh, you smart ass," so it was really cool. Yeah.
And this one, well, Bob Gibson, of course, but then I wanted to talk about the Whitey Herzog one, but I think this is cool. This is
thank you.
It's a baseball card. I mean, this is from the era when I was collecting cards. I guess everyone was. This is a very popular era for baseball card collecting, but that's for those in the podcast. It's a Whitey Herzog with a Bud Light can on the table. It's not the actual baseball card
right.
that was going on. 85, I think this year was 85, 86. Okay.
85 year, 86 release. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is just cool. It just kind of captures Whitey, I think.
And when it comes to painting some individuals, it's hard to figure out, how do I want to show them? And with managers, they're really boring. They're usually, overweight white guys, and ridiculously in the same uniform as the rest of the team. And it's like, they're usually just like a looking shot. We all remember the manager cards from, our top sets that we had as kids. And this is my all-time favorite photo of Whitey. It's such a St. Louis photo, kicking back with the Bud Light, and and I wanted something that, was of that Whitey ball era. And one of my favorite designs was the 86 tops. And it's one of the things I've started to kind of fold in a little bit more, is just with a way of framing a piece. The original, cards like 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And this one is 18 by 24. I was looking behind me because I just had it behind me, the original. It's still here at my place. And I had gotten Whitey to sign it, and I'd stretched it, and I was going to pull it out to show the camera, but I put it away. So,
and this,
guys, I was going to say, I think you guys are pronouncing Whitey wrong. It's Whitey.
Whitey.
Whitey with like Cool Whip.
Sorry, yeah. Cool Whip. It's a cool. It's a Cool Whip. It's a Cool Whip.
Why?
Now this one is not available as a print. Is it not on your site?
Not yet, but it will be soon.
Oh, cool.
I dialed back a lot of my print stuff because I was so busy with live events and that was actually where I am still going to shift my career, is more live events, public speaking, and public performance art types of things with my work, and pulled back from doing more prints and online sales. But, as the economy has dictated, that's pretty much what I have to do. And so this one will be available in the near future. I'm going to be releasing them in stages, and I have a couple of really special Cardinals prints are going to be on the website by the end of the week. So
very cool. And let me skip that one. Oh, we'll get right to this one. So this is this is the most recent painting, correct?
Yes. Yeah. It's the most recent one that I did. It totally, this is, some pieces you do because, you have an event, some pieces you do as a commission, some pieces you want to send a message, and some pieces are just whimsy. This one was totally whimsical. I had no intention of doing it until I had just finished doing an Iron Man piece, literally, Marvel's Iron Man, which what I've done to keep myself sane in quarantine. And I did it, also when life was normal, is that I would do a couple of sports pieces, usually for events. And then I would have to do a non-sports piece to kind of what I call clear the mechanism. And I was doing Iron Man and I ADHD waylaid on the way. I bounced to Iron Man, the song, the Black Sabbath lyrics. Oh, wait, I remember at one point I had this kernel of an idea. I wanted to do Ozzy's mugshot. What would that look like? I know that I wanted to do both the straight on photo as well as the profile shot. And this just came to me, and then I think I knocked it out in like 2 or 3 days. So yeah,
it's a portrait of Ozzy Osbourne, the famous mugshot of him wearing a blues shirt in the mugshot. So and you,
which I was shocked to find out that this mugshot is because he was drunk on Beale Street, and it's just like of the most basic bitch things to get busted for is Ozzy Osbourne. That is such a suburban dad thing, that you would get busted for, drunk on Beale Street.
But this is set up like a hockey card. Kind of like the Whitey one before it, and very cool, very cool. I love it. And we're actually going to. This is our promotion. This is our giveaway. So we're Stephen is going to give away a print of this Ozzy Osbourne painting on his website by signing up for his mailing list at stephenwalden.com. So if you sign up for his mailing list, you will be entered to win this print when it's given away in a couple of weeks. And also, you can sign up to win this through our Twitter account. If you follow us on Twitter, we'll have this posted on letsgoblues.com, all this on how to sign up on both Stephen's site and through Let's Go Blues Radio. So you can follow us on Twitter, retweet a tweet that we're going to tweet out, tag a couple friends, and then you're entered. So pretty simple. And on Facebook too, same thing. So we'll pick one winner to give a print away, and then Stephen will also pick a winner to give a print away. So there's 2 prints being given away. So you have 2 chances to win if you enter on Stephen's site and through Let's Go Blues Radio. So awesome. Thank you very much, Stephen, for providing the prints for this. This is going to be fun.
Thank you. And I'm really hoping that I win your contest because that would save me on shipping.
Well, maybe
you go.
Maybe we can work something out under the table. We'll
Love
see.
it. Love it. And you're in Illinois, so in true Blagojevich style, how much do you fucking want for it?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, we'll.
This is a beaut. For those again on the podcast, I'm guessing Curt, you're gonna probably tweet this out by the time the podcast is posted. This is an awesome picture. When Curt shared this with us and that this was going to be our giveaway, Bill and I were just blown away. We were like, "Oh my god, this is one of the coolest ones we've seen from him," and he's going to give it away at our show. So this is very cool. So I'm very excited to have this as a giveaway for us.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
So here's something. Oh, I just bumped my mic. Here's another thing that to ask you guys. A survey, totally put you on the spot, but feel free to answer by the end of the show. What other hockey piece or even non-hockey piece would you want to see me paint?
Oh, I've already got one.
I know.
Okay,
I know. I know what Jeff's going to say. You're going to say it's a pronger piece, right?
Well, no.
Okay,
actually,
okay.
It's not even NHL related.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna hire you, Stephen.
To do you?
No, yes. Can you do a nude portrait of me? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but make sure that the temperature's up because I can only stand to be nude for so long.
Right,
so.
like one of his French.
You want to be nude?
Like one of Jeff's French girls. That's what.
No, so I'm serious. So I don't know if you're aware. I mentioned it last week.
Yes,
The
yeah, the
Stanley
Ponder
Ponder
Cup.
Memorial
Yes.
Cup. Yep, we do it in honor of my father who passed away from leukemia. I would love for you to possibly put in a painting for our giveaways that we do during the Ponder Memorial Cup, and I will gladly do whatever it takes to make that happen, because I know that the guys that play in this tournament, they will want something like this. So maybe it's just a painting of, maybe it's something we could do, afterward. Maybe we can take a team picture of the winner and the winning captain gets it or something like that.
Did your
'cause
dad
I think
play
that would
hockey?
be something to do. My dad did not play hockey. I did,
Okay.
but he played baseball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So we can work something out. We'll talk off air, but I definitely want to do something with that because I think that would be an unbelievable addition to what we do and raising money for the Leukemia Society.
Let's do it, because that's one of the things that has really hurt me spiritually, for a guy that doesn't believe in spirits, is that, unless it's Captain Morgan, is that, I'm a fundraising machine. Since I went professional in 2016 as an artist, and a part of that was to help other organizations to raise funds. I wanted to help other people because before, like Bill and I, we were talking before, in the green room about how you've got a corporate job and I had that too. And it sucked my soul dry. And I'm like, I have to quit. I've got to help other people. I was going to be a therapist, and I got my master's to be a counselor therapist. And then I discovered along the way that I could do art. And when I discovered I could do art, I'm like, oh, well, if I'm going to paint, how can I help other people? And that's when I folded it in the whole fundraising aspect. And since I've been doing this with charities, and this is minus 2020, because I only was able to do it for like 10 weeks in 2020 for helping, charities then, because all the events were canceled. But my artist helped raise over $350,000 at different charity events. And so it's really affected me to not be able to do that. So if I could do that for Jeff, for your charity, would love to do that in whatever form that takes.
Awesome. Well, I know we've got some listeners of the show that play in these tournaments. So, guys, that's something to look forward to. I'm going to work with Steven and get that done, because that is, that's going to be an added bonus, because we had to push back. We're still wanting to do the 2020 tournament. We still haven't done it. So
yeah, I heard it was pushed from
an
March until June. And so, yeah.
Well, it was originally in November, and then we had to push it to March. Now it's probably going to be pushed to June, and after that, we'll see. But yeah, it's been crazy. So no, this would be something I know the guys would love.
That's awesome.
And real quick, I'll add, my mom's in Facebook right now watching the show, I guess. My mom's a big part of the tournament, and she says, great idea. So I know she's loving this too.
Hey, Mom Ponder.
Yeah, we should have had you go last, Jeff, because you can't follow that request.
Right.
Well, just say it again, and we'll pretend like it's new. So
yeah.
Actually, Curt, here's what we'll do.
Post-production.
Right.
Post-production. Put me last.
Right.
And so Steven, just to help Curt out with his post-production, Steven just asked you guys, what would be a great hockey picture for you guys, for him to paint?
I'd love to hear, because I don't think you're going to beat Jeff's idea. I have no idea what it would be, but you guys' idea probably sucks in comparison and doesn't have quite the same. Anyway,
I'm going the Petro from last night's game.
Yeah, that's good.
What I've only saw highlights, and I guess I didn't see like the freeze frame. What, fill me in.
So after Kyrou blocks Petro's weak pass coming into the zone, and goes back the other way, beats him going down the ice, and puts one roofs it over Leonard, and then as they're cutting back around the corner boards, Petro throws his head back in disgust. And it was plastered all over Twitter last night. So
yeah, Jeff's got
it modeled for you.
It was.
I'll use that for my lighting reference. Awesome.
Yeah. So I do have one, and it would be a painting of a friend of the show. It'd be of Carlo Koliakovo.
Oh yes.
It's like one of the most famous hockey gifts of all time. It's where he look at Jeff, he's cracking up. Where I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, Stephen. This is back when he played for the Blues. He kind of went down, slid, goes out of frame, and hits the boards. But there's a camera in the corner boards, and his face just pops up, and he's in sheer pain right against the glass. And it's and it's like one of the most famous,
famous hockey on Bieber. Yeah.
That's a good one too. Yeah. But one of the most famous hockey gifts of all time of that. I was also thinking the Edmonds, Warner, and Pronger Best Sports City or Sporting News cover was a good one too. So
yeah, that's a great photo.
That was
check out your Twitter right now, Steven. I just posted the GIF to your Twitter.
Oh,
yeah, and I will add to that right now. If you paint that, I will definitely buy one and send it to Carlo Koliakovo. I know he would love it.
I know this, Jeff. Yes, yeah. I know this one. Yeah. I didn't know who that was until this moment.
Yeah, Jeff interviewed him as part of the our summer series interview series. Was it last year, Jeff? Last offseason?
Whenever 2020 was.
Yeah. So he was on the show. So yeah, he's a friend of the show. So he's
so he's a good sport about.
He's a great guy.
He's a 2-time friend of the show. So yeah, I know he would appreciate that. He says that it's the thing that made him famous. So he's very happy to talk about it.
I've always wanted to paint a meme, and this is better than woman yelling at cat. So
it could be a triptych. You could have a couple of the first two scenes, no Carlo, and then the third one, boom, face against the glass. I don't know. Anyway,
sequential art.
Yeah, it's a high class stuff. So yeah, we'll give away the Ozzy Osbourne print on noon. Deadline to enter we'll say is noon on Wednesday, I guess, February 10th, 2021, and then I guess we'll. On our live show that night, we'll announce the winner of the print giveaway, and both winners, I guess. So I'll converse with Steven, and we'll get the names situated for our show. So if that's cool with you,
sounds good to me.
Cool, awesome. So anyway, StephenWalden.com. Sign up on his mailing list, and you're automatically entered. And then go to letsgoblues.com, and I will post a posting of the instructions on how to sign up with our complicated instructions for Twitter and Facebook, how to sign up for this. So it's a few steps.
Real quick, we got a couple comments that I wanted to go ahead and read for Steven right now. Nicholas Rousseau, who I believe, Curt, we've had on the show. He's the movie guy.
Right? He's a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, I interviewed Steve. He is a nice guy. So, there you go.
That's lucky because Nick interviewed me at like 7 a.m, and I was pissed that he'd schedule it for that early. But he does amazing work.
Yeah, he does. Curt and I have had to do that before for like morning talk shows. Like,
yes.
Hey, we want to have you on. And we're like, oh, great. What time? 6:15.
It's like,
oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. I set the alarm to get up for that. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, even earlier than that one. And I think, was it 16 when the Blues had the deep playoff run? They got knocked out by the Sharks in the final. And I remember going down to, and I live in High Ridge, so it was a haul. But going down to the stadium for the morning shoots, Angela Sharp was there, Louis was there, the Blues person, and we were just all just like, oh my God. We just had that morning hangover when you get up so early, you hear birds chirping, you're just pissed off at the birds. It's like you feel sick to your stomach because no one should be up that early. Even Louis was pissed.
We've got he had a frown that morning. That was the one time he had a frown. Our friend of the show, Adam Gold, which I want to say Adam Gold is very, very good man. He's doing something. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Mom, I'm going to go ahead and surprise you with this. Adam Gold is actually getting a cutout of my 8-year-old son and having the Blues, putting it up in the Blues stands.
Oh,
which is really awesome. And
That's
guess
cool.
what? He's
That's
wearing a
very
Let's
cool.
Go Blues radio shirt now. So
He sent me a
Yeah.
few entries that he's submitted. I'm like, they're not going to accept that. They're not going to accept
Yeah.
that. They're ridiculous
well,
things.
this one they will. So I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And very, very cool of him to do
That's
that.
awesome.
But he says, hello, I have the Stephen Walden Arena. What's the best way to frame it? He asks. So, Stephen, do you have any good insight for that?
Depends on the size. Size does matter in spite of what she tells you. That I would say that, 11 by 4, if it's an 11 by 14 piece, if it's a rolled piece, hit up Michael's, hit Amazon. You can also take your piece to Dogtown Sports and Collectibles. They have amazing framing options available there. They also carry some of my work. Highly recommend them. They're in Dogtown if you're local. Otherwise, standard frame sizes, and then just pick out the style that you like. I like a basic black. You want a frame to enhance, not detract from your piece. Yeah, it's like the Cujo, like Curt's Cujo back there. Yeah, it's like an art mentor told me that a good frame is like a good suit for a person. It just snazzes it up just enough.
I guess we can move on to our official beers of episode number 285. Our official beverages, I guess we should say. This is probably the latest in the show we've done the beverages.
Sorry.
No, we're good. Jeff, what do you got? If you have any left?
I was gonna say I'm on my third already, actually. But originally, I was drinking the first beer I had was the Single Speed from Four Hands, which is basically anyone who maybe is a fan of the Bud Lights and the generic beers. If you're wanting to step into a more robust beer, I think this is a good stepping stone. It's a good sipping beer. It's a beer that I just like to drink and just always have on hand for whenever I want a beer. So yeah, Single Speed, Four Hands, one of my favorite beers there is.
Bill, what you got? I know what you got, but I'm looking forward to your review, actually.
So I had, because it is now gone, I'm going to have to go get another. Dad's Oatmeal Cookie Stout by O'Fallon Brewery. The part of the cookie tin pack that is available at most local grocers. I picked mine up at Schnucks, and it is great. It's I've had it before. I think when we went to Flamingo Bowl, they had it there, and I enjoyed it. And I'm enjoying this. It's great, and surprisingly, it pairs very well with Dad's oatmeal cookies. So
I was gonna say, I told you before the show, if it didn't pair well with Dad's oatmeal cookies, there's something wrong.
yeah, no, it's very good. And I think while you're introducing the rest of the beverages, I'm gonna go get another one. So I'll be back.
All right, Stephen, are you enjoying a tasty beverage this evening?
I am. It's by a local vendor. It's from Schnucks, and it's Captain Morgan. And it tastes like real pirates, and it pairs great with scurvy and parrots.
What's the country that with the Gerber baby food jars? I don't know if that's a true story or not. Maybe it's an urban legend. No. I mean, okay. Well, Gerber introduced their baby food with the baby picture on the jar into another country. And typically in that country, they put what's in the jar on the label, like pictures of it. And so people got the impression that there were babies in the jar. So I don't know if that's a true story or not, but does that bottle have real pirates in it? That's where I was going with that.
It does taste like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. No, I don't know. I'm looking up if Gerber baby food is made from real Gerber babies. I'm pretty heavy into the Captain Morgan at this stage. Let's be honest. I don't know.
So I have a Four Hands offering as well. I've got the Four Hands chocolate mint cookie. So Bill went cookie beverage. I went cookie as well. But also seeing as how I just ordered Girl Scout cookies for my daughter, and I did pick up some Thin Mints. So that's essentially what this is: Thin Mint stout. So Thin Mint milk stout.
All right, I'm going to totally do we're live, but I'm going to ask anyway. Is your daughter still selling the Girl Scout cookies?
She is. Do you want a link?
All right. Yes, please do.
It's all online this year because of they don't want.
My nieces have aged out, so I'm looking for a new supplier.
Oh yeah. They're you need a dealer.
That pipeline has dried up.
Now, your first box is free, Jeff. After that, it costs you.
First one's always free.
Hey, Dare warned me about this shit.
All right, yeah, it's all online this year because they don't want girls necessarily going door to door and peddling their goods or standing outside of gas stations or whatnot necessarily. So,
is that how they market it? Girls going door to door peddling their goods.
That's whether they say it or not. That's how it comes off to me.
I'll show you your tag along right here, baby.
My.
Sorry. This outburst is made possible by Captain Morgan Rum. If you like pirates, if you like spices,
if you like pirates,
you recommend Captain Morgan.
I love that. If you like pirates and you like spices,
if Captain Morgan would like to sponsor Let's Go Blues Radio, you can email us at radio@letsgoblues.com.
There you go. Today in Blues History, courtesy of the @SDL Blues History Twitter account, January 27th, 2021. Man, I have to update that sheet. It's got old date on there. January 27th, 2015, the Blues announced that Martin Brodeur would retire from playing and join the front office of the St. Louis Blues. That was 6 years ago today. Doesn't seem that long ago.
Kurt,
seems like just yesterday.
You pronounced that wrong. It's actually pronounced Blues legend Martin Brodeur.
And should be friend of the show, right? We should get him on the show.
Ooh. I never actually even thought about trying to get him.
He's not busy.
That's a good idea.
He's
not doing
He still lives local.
There you go.
Yeah.
So is Gretzky, Jeff. So is Gretzky.
You brought it up now, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is not in Today in Blues History, but I think it's important to note Wayne Gretzky's 60th birthday was yesterday. So a big happy birthday to the great one.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Wayne. So here's my contribution to this. When I posted my Gretzky piece online years ago after Brett had asked me to do it, I totaled it up, and it actually took me about 2 hours longer than Gretzky had total ice time for the St. Louis Blues to complete that piece.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's
it's absolutely true.
So if you count pregame and post in the locker room, getting changed in the shower, you probably could have started the painting when he, and then
yeah,
that's funny. January 27th, 1992, Best of the Blues 25th anniversary team was voted on by the fans. Results of the fan vote, along with the ballot, is posted on STL Blues History's Twitter account. This is interesting because we just kind of did this earlier this season on the show. We drafted our best all-time teams, which was a lot of fun. And mine was voted the best. But anyway,
nobody won. Nobody won.
This is great because this is 92, so this is missing a lot of the recent names, obviously. So as voted on by the fans, Brian Sutter, the overwhelmingly best left wing of all time, on left wing. Bernie Federico center, Brett Hull right wing, because he had Brett Hull, and that was Brett Hull by a mile. Which is interesting because Brett Hull 92, he hadn't been here that long yet. So,
real quick with right wing, what's surprising is that Wayne Babich isn't in there.
I was going to say that too. He's, exactly. Although
it
Mullen,
was Brett Hull, Joe Mullen, Greg Pazlowski, was the three that were voted at the top.
Right. That's and Mullen, one of the, a guy who I'm glad in this poll got a ton of votes. Well, not a ton. He got 2,210 compared to Brett Hull's 43,000, but still finishing second. That's notable because I don't think today most people don't know who Joe Mullen is, and he was a fantastic player for us.
most Blues fans. I would say
Right.
your typical USA
wouldn't know
hockey
him.
fan would know who he is.
Oh, right. I'm
Yeah.
Blues fan, right, exactly.
You wouldn't know him as a Blue.
No, and
Yeah.
because it was pretty early in his career, had a great start. They just didn't want to pay him when his contract was up, so they moved him. So, which was sad because he had a Hall of Fame career.
This lineup is from '92, is what they chose.
92, yeah.
So, what changes would you make? What would you change? Who would your guys be based? Because you said it's, it's been what 29 years.
Well,
so
you know what?
Who would,
Left winger. Okay, left wing they got Brian Sutter. Center is Federico. Right wing is Hall. Defense number 1 is Barclay Plager, and goaltender is Glenn Hall. So defense. We'll do 2 for defense. So it's Bobby.
McInnes?
Actually, Bobby and Barclay Plager.
Okay.
And
So-
Scott Stevens was ranked number 3rd, which he only spent 1 season here.
Right. Well, Stevens is so good.
And it
though.
was- And it was that season, right?
Yeah.
91, 92?
and that's recency bias, I imagine.
Yeah.
So as far as what changes I would make,
Yeah.
I'd Pronger and McInnes on defense in a second.
Absolutely.
In a second. Goaltender, that's tough. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's an argument for Binnington because he
Cujo
won the
and
cup.
Fjord.
Cujo,
Yeah.
Fjord, you got Binnington winning the cup. Hall, as though, is one of the all-time greats in the NHL. Liut,
Brian Elliott.
Brian Elliott. Exactly.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean,
You know what? I don't know if I change the forwards.
that's the top forwards is tough.
Sutter, Federico, Hall, that's pretty much the tops right there. I mean, all their numbers are retired. I agree with Curt. Best was yet to come with defense. McInnes, Pronger, maybe somebody would want to make the case for Pietrangelo's Blues career, but I think McInnes, Pronger is number 1, 2.
Yeah.
And then goalie, it's kind of a toss-up, like you said. Elliott, Hall, Liut, Binnington, Joseph,
Yeah.
Fjord. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of names. Jablonski, you could put in there.
We've talked about this. The Blues have had some amazing goaltenders come through. Just they haven't spent a ton of time here, most of them. So,
Right. Blues legend Martin Brodeur.
Yeah, exactly, Brodeur. And Adam Oates finished second in the center rankings, by the way, but just barely, like 80 votes shy of Federico. So, and I guess if there's a change at center, I mean, I don't know how you can supplant Federico, but if you do, then the fans got it right with Adam Oates being second, I think. So, but then again, there's O'Reilly with. I mean, we've talked about this with our draft at length. He's only been here a couple of years, couple full seasons. So, yeah, how do you rate that right now? So, but he is
Pierre
up there.
Turgeon. This guy that would be in the mix as well.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a fun discussion. I love it. And he also has the ballot on the Twitter post as well, which is interesting to see who was on the ballot to be voted on. So check that out. STL Blues History on Twitter if you get a chance. January 27th, 1984. The St. Louis Blues set a team record with 5 power play goals and score 8 goals in the game, but still lose 10-8 to the Minnesota North Stars. Highest scoring game, both teams combined, in St. Louis Blues history, and the Blues were the first NHL team in history to lose when scoring 5 power play goals in a game. So, typical. That's so St. Louis Blues.
Trailblazers.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So I want to add real quick.
Who are the goalies in that game? I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna go Rick Wamsley versus Don Beaupre. Let's see if I can get this.
That's a good
Man.
one. It's hard to deny that's probably who it was.
Bill knows his goalies. He knows his goalies.
Yeah, he does.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm not gonna look it up. I'm gonna say yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's right. Bill's right.
I'll let you know.
real quick.
Move on. I'll give it an update.
Wait. I don't know if he was here. Hines. I'm gonna go off the board. Say Hines. Hines and go for the Blues. Was that 84? Was he here 84?
I don't.
No, he was gone by then.
Really? Okay.
So we're getting ready to, I think, break here, but I want to add real quick. We got a couple comments I want to get to. Derek Andrew over at the Facebook chat, first time watching. So we have a new live listener. Derek, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. Well, we got he also says, met the great one in 2019. Interesting story. I told him, let's post it. Let's see it. And Austin Lynch over in the YouTube chat. Sorry I'm late, but I just got home from work. Austin, you don't have to apologize. I'm sorry we didn't wait for you to get off work.
All right, and I guess we'll hit up Manscaped now.
I'm telling you, you better be prepared because when I yank it out, everybody in that audience, with the exception of my wife, is going to be running for the exits.
Are you ready for some football? The biggest game of the year is upon us on February 7th in Tampa, and it's time to get your balls feeling super. Our partners at Manscaped are here to tell you to join the already 2 million men who trust Manscaped products for their below-the-waist grooming needs. Get 20% off and free shipping with promo code LGB at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. Don't settle for unnecessary roughness below the waist. Tackle your pubes and win the Super Bowl in your pants with Manscaped.
It's a hard life picking stones and pulling teats, but sure as God's got sandals, it beats fighting dudes with treasure trails.
Oh. I was watching Jeff's face during the promo.
Is that not the usual? That's pretty fantastic.
That's a new one.
It's a new one. We got some new copy from Manscaped for before the Super Bowl, so we put that into play. It's
Oh my God! I think I have tears, Curt. I think I've got tears. Oh man, the unnecessary roughness. That one got me.
I like that. But I was disappointed they didn't go with Super Balls instead of Super Bowl.
That's one of the many talking points that they suggested that we talk about. So, which I'm happy to do. Fun
fact: that is what the Super Bowl is named after. It is named after the Super Ball, the kid's toy from the 1966 era, when they were trying to figure out what it should be called. And like one of the, I think Roselle or whoever it was, kid had a Super Bowl. And they're like, oh, that's what we should name our big championship game between the AFL and the NFL. So, that's been your NFL AFL minute here on the Let's Go Blues Radio podcast.
That
made possible by Captain Morgan. You like spices and you like pirates.
That is extremely interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Huh.
I could have just made it up, but I'm pretty sure that I read
No, he's
that.
right. He's right. No, that's 100% correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff, you just want an Ozzy Osbourne print. Thank you.
Yes. Hell yeah.
So have you heard of Manscaped, Stephen?
Yes, absolutely. Even though I'm naturally hairless below the waist, I have heard of it. And I don't think that this level of comfort and aerodynamics should be limited to, just me. I think everyone should be able to feel as silky smooth and not have to worry about, I'm still talking, aren't I? So,
no, you're doing a great job.
Guy?
You're doing a great job.
Why have we not hired him to read our Manscaped ads?
I do not know that.
Dude, that's like my dream. I mean, I've only had it for like 30 seconds, but that is my fucking dream right there, to read your Manscaped promo.
Well,
I'll do it. I got a mic and everything.
I mean, well, you're hired. We pay nothing. Actually, we pay like cookie beer. That's what we pay. So
Yeah.
I'm in.
No, but for those of you who haven't checked out Manscaped, do so. Manscaped.com, 20% off with free shipping. With promo code LGB, it's a great way to try out the products, from shavers to lotions to shampoos to body washes, facial wipes, body wipes, cologne, which is a new offering from them. Fantastic stuff, really high quality stuff. And they have packages you can kind of put stuff together to kind of sample things and try things out. Give them a try, manscaped.com. Great products, great people. I mean, dealing with them with being the sponsor of the show, so much fun. So give them a shot.
Get a package for your package.
Get a package for your package. Look at this. You're writing copy on the fly. Look at that. That's awesome.
I'm supposed to be the creative one, and I'm the only one that doesn't come up with anything good.
I mean, how old are you now? I mean, you've got how many years that you've been trying?
I'm 22 right
22?
now. So
That is not.
yeah.
No, I don't.
No?
You're okay. Uh,
What kind of a grown man has a Ninja Turtle statue hanging up in his office?
oh man,
That's all I gotta ask you.
if we're talking Ninja Turtles, here,
Right.
I'll do this. I'll take the camera off.
Oh, we're doing this. We're doing this.
Can you see
Oh,
it?
sweet.
Can you see it over there? Next to
What's
the
that in
arcade?
the left corner there, Kurt? What is that?
Oh,
Is that you?
That's a cardboard cutout of me.
What's the cabinet? What's the game?
That's a multi-cade. I made that.
The
It's
MAME,
it's got about 8,000 ROMs on it. So
Oh yeah, I'm all about the MAME.
oh god, yeah, I can play just about any classic arcade game I like, which I
Hey, save some pussy for the rest of us, there, Slugger.
hey, I don't know about that.
Uh,
You got it. I can't respond to that. That's well done.
I'm
Very
sorry,
good.
we
Let
can
me
bleep
spit.
that out.
No,
This guy is meant for this show.
he really
That's all I
is.
gotta say.
Really is.
I have to I'm just compensating for my lack of hockey knowledge. You guys are ripping off guys from '92, and I'm like, I don't know. Was he on like Gretzky's All Stars with Bo Jackson? I might know him.
See, that's what we do every show. Is we overcompensate for our lack of hockey knowledge with jokes.
I love it.
And okay, enough comedy jokes. That's a Steve Martin line for those who are older than and recognize. Remember Wild and Crazy Guy? Blues. The Blues are now going to allow 1,400 fans in the building for upcoming homestand. What do you think about that? Huh? They're going to allow fans in the building. Now they have been allowing a handful of
first responders.
Social workers, and medical workers, frontline people, to reward them. To reward them for the work they do. Obviously, social distance and spread out throughout the arena. But now that, excuse me, 1,400 people will be allowed inside the building for the upcoming homestand. I guess until something changes, either will they allow more or less. But your thoughts on this? I wonder how far apart you can spread 1,400 people. I'd imagine pretty significantly.
Oh yeah,
So
I think even in the lower bowl, I think you'll still be able to spread around 1,400 people pretty well. Because you got to figure some people are going to be people who know each other, work together, maybe their family, so they're going to sit by each other anyway. And I know that I've been reading that they're basically going to. Season ticket holders are going to have options to come to a couple games, which will be nice. So you got to figure 2 to 4 to 6 people right there will be sitting by each other because maybe they buy them all together.
right.
I love this, and so I'll add real quick that friend of the show, Eddie Garcia of Fox Sports Radio, messaged me during the Kings series. He's a big Kings fan. He lives out in California. And said, "Hey, I'm shocked. You people are having fans in the stands out there in Missouri, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we are. It's at the time it was just the frontline responders or the frontline workers, and he was very surprised to see that. I mean, obviously, California is in a much different state than we are.
Yeah.
Quite literally a different state than we are."
Geography facts with Jeff Ponder.
You like
California,
that? You like
Missouri,
that?
Different states.
You like that?
You don't
That's-
get this
that's what
anywhere
it's-
else. Yeah,
No.
this is the kind of information you don't get anywhere else.
That's
Man,
right.
I'm the wrong
But
person
no,
to
it's
ask about this. I'm so sanctimonious when it comes to this thing that I'm like, was it made on the day after that Missouri was touted as last in getting out the vaccine? I mean, is this
Yeah.
our prize?
I think I heard.
Yeah.
I did read today.
Sorry, Jeff, I cut you off.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I
Go
did
ahead.
read. I did read today that I think was it Missouri, or maybe it was St. Louis. I can't recall the headline, but it's 19 days in a row. Was it that they've had a reduction each day in hospitalizations? I think so. Something's trending in the right direction. Hopefully, anyway. So that maybe there's something to that decision, because it's been a couple weeks where they're trending in the right direction, I guess, in Missouri, so to allow them to do that. So, or at least in St. Louis. So I when I first heard that, I was like, really? Because we're spiking nationwide. So, but and like you said, Missouri is not doing well at all with getting the vaccine out. So, which you would think maybe in the short term, if cases are down or hospitalizations are down, but if they're slow to get the vaccine out, then you got to wonder if we're due for an uptick in a few weeks or a month or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see.
By having super spreader hockey game events.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it depends. How I mean, if you can have, how many sections are there? Can you have like 20 people in a section? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and it it depends. It depends on what kind of concessions are they gonna do? Is anything
hot dogs
going
and
to be
nachos
available?
probably.
Right.
No,
but if
nope,
there's
hang on,
beer,
I got an answer. I have an answer actually. We've got in the YouTube chat Patty Bass, friend of the show. As an Enterprise Center employee, they'll probably all be in the upper deck like it has been, or lower bowl behind penalty box, but not behind players,
Right.
and no concessions. So they will not have any concessions.
No food. Right.
Right.
I think Bill's definition of concessions was different than what I was implying.
Oh.
I was joking.
Go ahead, Bill. Bill or Curt, whoever was wanting to talk. Sorry, I interrupted.
I would like to, so it's just upper bowl only and maybe across the rink from the benches. So show me, show me what it's going to look like and how far people are going to be apart and whatnot. And then I'll be like, okay, well if they can do it safe and people are masking up, I'm for doing stuff safe, but don't be stupid about it. I don't want to insult any of our listeners, but Missouri didn't have the best track record as far as certain parts of Missouri being smart with this stuff. So
I'm in Jeffco. It's like
it's a whole other world.
You guys,
it's Mad Max with fewer teeth. And more meth.
Oh.
You guys are trending downwards because you're close to herd immunity, right?
Herd immunity here means people are actually fucking cows. I don't know. So here's the thing. I want to see like what is the quantifiable data you have that tells you that we can let in 1,400 people, and then we're going to track them 2 weeks after and see how have they, how was their health. And then there's also, we still don't know about asymptomatic spread. Again, I'm sanctimonious. I'm going to be a fucking bring down. I'm here for the comedy, not for the depression. So let's make fun of Jeffco again. So math, illiteracy, I don't know.
And California, different state.
Geography facts.
Geography facts. Right. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, things keep trending down and but we'll see. The LA series. So the Blues played LA, won the first game 4-2, lost the second game 3-6, which has kind of been a disturbing trend for the Blues, winning the first game, losing the second in a series. Husso makes his first NHL start in the second game. So he's had 4 periods of NHL action. Some want him gone after 4 periods. Thoughts on the series, the 2 games versus LA and Husso's play.
I'll just add real quick because I want to get Bill's reaction to Husso. All that I'll say about the LA series, I thought the Blues could have played better in Game 1 against them. It was I think that was a matter of the Blues playing down to their opponent. I thought the defense still did not look solid, and I want to go ahead and emphasize, we're going to talk about the Vegas game here in a little bit. When I say defense, I don't mean just the 6 defensemen. I mean defensive play, so the forwards back checking. I think that there's a lot of work that needs to get done there. In a Berube system, it should be better than what it is. But again, we'll touch on that more here in a little bit. Husso getting the start. I'm all for it. I think that's the right spot, right? I'm going to yes or no, real quick question from you guys. Yes or no, is that not the right spot to start Husso's second game against the LA Kings?
You want to go ahead, Bill?
Absolutely. That was totally the right game. In terms of how the season's unfolding, the right time to start them. The Kings aren't going to be. You're not going to think them as the high-powered offense. and you got to get the guy in, get him some starts, and what a not great performance. I don't know. What do you think, Curt? Do you think right spot for him?
Yeah, I do. Because if they weren't going to start him against LA in the second game, LA is not very good. And it's a second game against LA. Binnington just played the 2 nights before, and you got 2 big games against Vegas coming up. You're going to play Binnington in both of those, so you can give him some rest before those, and then you can start him against San Jose got coming up next weekend, I think. Is that what it is? So yeah, and so you wouldn't be able to start him until the San Jose series if you don't start him against LA, and then all of a sudden Binnington's got 8 or 9 starts in a row. So it was a perfect time to start him. He had to. The team just did not play well in front of him. He didn't play particularly great. He played okay. I had a softie, that near post goal. I thought. I don't know. I didn't think he was terrible. I thought the team in front of him was bad. I thought that defensively, I have not been happy with the Blues play since game 1 of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they've played,
including game 1.
I guess the second period of game 1 they didn't play that great, but first and third period I thought they played pretty good. So they haven't played a full game all season, in my opinion. At least they've played a full bad game. They haven't played a full good game. So
I think that's kind of been. I mean, sorry to interrupt, but I want you to continue after I say this. I think that's kind of been their MO, right? The last 2 seasons, even when the year they won the cup, it was they've always had a bad second period. It's rare we see them have a good second, and so it's they played 40 minutes of excellent barnstorming hockey. But that 20 minutes is what killed them. And even in the wins, I mean, again, we'll get to last night. Now, maybe the third period was the problem, but they played some solid hockey for about 45 to 50 minutes. And outside of that, boom, that's all the Vegas Golden Knights needed to come back and change that. And I think we've seen that all season, and we saw it all last season.
Yeah, and we talked about – go ahead, Bill.
I was just going to say, the disturbing thing to me, going back to Jeff's point about, the defensive play, the all-around team defensive play, the middle of the ice in the defensive zone should be owned by the defensive team, and the Blues are giving it up way too easily. I mean, the Kings were great at getting in there. I thought, to finish off the thoughts on Husso, giving up that leaky goal, that softie on the short side post, like you said, Curt, I think that hurt his confidence, and then from there he was just off kilter, and his game got worse as the night went on. He was too deep in the net on a few of those goals, not positional. Is it time to run him out of town? No, he's a rookie. Give him some opportunity to get a few more starts and get comfort. But man, the game he lost his confidence right away. The team didn't play well. The team hasn't played well. And then fast forward to the game last night. Max Pacioretty twice was able just to get right into, the low slot and bury passes. And that should not be allowed to happen. And Blues teams in past years aren't going to give up that ice.
I thought when the Blues made a little bit of a comeback against LA in the second game and made it 5-3, Husso didn't allow a goal in the third period. So I guess that's maybe something to build on because the Kings got the empty net goal to make it 6-3. But maybe that's something to build on for him. But I don't even think you can accurately analyze Husso with the way the team's played in front of him. Because like you said, Bill, the defense has been loose. They've been lax. the coverage. They caught puck watching, it seems like, and the guys sneak in the soft area between the forwards and defense that they're leaving open. And a perfect example with Patrick's goal last night. It's been happening a lot. So, Husso has not impressed me, but it's been 4 periods for him. I'm not. I mean, some people, social media is toxic, but I mean, they want him gone, and I'm like, gee, it's been 4 periods. I mean,
I know since the Cup win, I've been kind of the optimist, which is, if you listen to the history of the show, that is usually not the case. But I will say this team is pretty much right where I thought they'd be. So I'm cool with them riding Husso right now as the backup and seeing how he does. I mean, one loss, they were going to lose that game against Colorado. We came in anyway with the way they were playing. But the game against LA, again, the Blues did not play well. They have 8 shots through 1.5 periods. I mean, halfway through the game, they didn't have any offense generated other than the Shen goal, and then there was a chance Shen had early in the first period, and that was it. So I don't put that on Husso. You have to expect as a rookie goalie. I think back real quick, not to talk too much about men's league hockey, but there was a time a couple of years ago, our goalie got hurt in the middle of the game, and I put the goalie pads on, and I said, guys, we're going to finish this game. We're not going to forfeit. We're not going to skate 5. And I am an awful goaltender. I am awful. But my team stepped up. I faced 6 shots through the rest of the game, gave up 4 goals, but we still won because they played solid defensive hockey. And that's what you expect from any hockey team. Not saying Ville Husso's a bad goalie. It's just you've got a rookie back there. You need to play your best hockey and give him the confidence he deserves. And he'll find it himself. As long as he's getting easy chances early, okay, this kid's stepping up. He's playing his game. Guys, let's go play some offense. That never happened in that game. So I want to see Ville Husso behind a Blues team that is playing Blues hockey. So I'm not going to fault him on the first 4 periods.
The best defense is good offense.
Without Vince Dunn in front of him?
Yeah. The best defense is good offense, and the Blues, their shots on goal have been lacking. So, honestly, I think the Blues offense could use some ID life.
Are you living your best life? Although I can't say I'm definitely living mine as well as I could. I was put on the right path by ID Life, the world's only personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment and your DNA. ID Life understands that no 2 people are the same. That's why ID Life uses original products that help you reach your goals, whether it be for weight loss, skincare, energy, or anything else. All products are non-GMO, gluten, and soy-free and don't include artificial sweeteners. And through January, try the Burn Box, which will save you some money this month on various products. Becoming a VIP member and ordering a Burn Box provides you with an additional 20% off as well, and this price will be locked in through 2021 if you sign up now. VIPs save 15 to 20% off every order and include many other benefits. Check out rockinthatidlife.com and speak with my friend Dustin about how ID Life can guide you through your life advancement journey. That's rockinthatidlife.com and tell them Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. Rockin' That ID Life. Oh, thank you.
That was a masterful toss to commercial, by the way. I'm sorry. If the Blues only had passing that crisp, so.
He's Mr. Segment, Segue.
Yeah.
Segment, Segue.
Yeah.
Mr. Segment, too. We call him both things.
Yeah, whatever. However it goes.
Now, Rockin' That ID Life, folks, something that I've been a big fan of. I've been working with Dustin, as I mentioned, the number that you saw on your screen there. I've been working with Dustin for a couple of years now. I've known him for a long time, captain in the Ponder Memorial Cup. Great guy, and he sent me samples over the years. I bought a lot from him. But one thing, and I'll say, because the big thing for me is energy. I wake up in the morning, and the first thing I need energy. I used to drink energy drinks or soda back when I was younger, way younger. And that's just, it's fake energy. It's not real energy. It goes away after, maybe an hour or two, and you get that like, what do they call it, a 2 p.m. crash. You don't get that with the energy from ID Life, and I love the stuff that I get from him. And I actually just ordered a new batch and got it late last week. They've got a mixed berry that's for the energy that I really like. It's good. I know Curt and Bill, you've tried it as well. Good flavor, but I will say I had never tried the tropical fruit, which is another flavor they have for energy. I had never tried it before. I always just stuck with the mixed berry because I always knew that was a good flavor. Oh man, holy shit. The tropical fruit is phenomenal. And it's not only good, but it works just like the mixed berry. You take it, for me, I start work at 8:30 in the morning. I start drinking it right when I wake up, and I'm good until about noon, 1 o'clock at least. And even then, there's no crash. It's just, at that point, I might need another pick-me-up. So I'll drink another one. And it's just about 16 ounces of water, 12 to 16 ounces. And you just mix in the formula, and it's phenomenal. It's great stuff, and it tastes great, and it keeps you going throughout the day. And it's something that really helps me. It helps me with workouts. It helps me with, working throughout the day, whether I'm sitting at my computer or if I'm going to the office, whatever. Just great stuff. So, again, check out rockinthатidlife.com. And, again, tell them that Let's Go Blues Radio sent you.
I meant to bring down I think it was a hydrate. I was going to bring down and a drink, and I forgot. So and it does. You're right. It does. I did that because it tastes good. I wouldn't do that if it didn't taste good. But it's some of the stuff that you get, these powders and stuff that you mix with water and for a energy drink or whatever, they don't taste quite right or they don't taste good. But this is good stuff. So the Blues last night had a 5-4 shootout win versus the Vegas Golden Knights. Vince Dunn was scratched in this game. I think the writing was pretty much on the wall for this. Would you guys not agree about Vince Dunn?
Oh, if I was Berube, and again, I've said before, if Coach Ponder were in the NHL, I would be the most ruthless asshole. We'll talk about later in the game. But when Perron, even after scoring goals, when he took that horrible delay of game penalty late in the game, I would have sat his ass and said, you're not in the shootout, you're not in overtime, sit your ass on the bench. I don't care that you're a veteran. You need to learn from your mistakes. And same thing with Dunn. After that horrible defensive showing in the game prior, and just, again, leaving your rookie goalie out to dry, I would have told him, you're done for the game. I'm going to play 5 defensemen. I'll put O'Reilly on defense before I put you back out there.
Would you have sat Gretzky had he stayed here or had the series continued after he had it, lost it at center?
That's a great question.
Because if you're a hard ass and you're going to sit Gretzky for turning the puck over to Yzerman, who shot.
Are you asking because so obviously that game ends in overtime, and let's say that was game 6, so it was game 7.
Yeah. Do you bench Gretzky because of that mistake?
I wouldn't bench him. I would definitely not play him for the first 10 minutes of the next game.
Man, that's a good way to get fired if you lose that game.
And again, that is why I will never ever coach in any professional hockey. I know that for a fact.
You're never going to get fired for playing Gretzky. You will get fired for benching him. Hard ass only goes. Oh, I mean, Mike Keenan was a hard ass, and that
he's super popular.
Yeah, I mean that didn't work out too well.
I'd spent a season coaching my old high school, and I benched a kid after he turned the puck over, fell down when he was trying to skate back to get the breakaway, and they scored. He came back to the bench, and I yelled at him, and he chewed me back out. I benched him the rest of the game.
Wow.
And I had his parents shouting at me the entire rest of the game. Why isn't Jeff playing? Why isn't he playing? And I probably shouldn't have used his name, but whatever. This was 12 years ago.
You used your name instead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. I used my name. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, even then, it was like, dude, you're coaching high school hockey. These kids are paying to play. Like, you should still be playing these kids. But it was like, no, he fucked up. I'm not going to let him play.
I was all for the Dunn benching. I'm a huge Dunn supporter. To be honest, but he's gotten off to a rough start this year. As has half the team. But Dunn has been noticeably bad, making glaring mistakes, turnovers, bad spots on the ice. So
Okay, so he's in the doghouse for bad play. So
Yep.
I'm going to toss this one out there to my Blues historians. Tell me your favorite Blues story of a player to get in a doghouse and then to redeem himself. What's your favorite Blues redemption arc? Perron?
it's being in the doghouse.
Perron's up there.
Well,
Yeah.
Perron was in the
Playoff.
doghouse with Murray for his skates. Does that count?
Well, look,
Playoffs Perron?
I'm saying-
I mean,
Yeah, he's talking about playoffs Perron mostly, but no, that was a good one too. Man, that's a great question.
Yeah, you could say Hull because
That
Hull was in the
is-
doghouse with Keenan quite a bit.
Chris Pronger.
was it legit though? Was Hall legit
They,
in a Keenan doghouse, or just because of Keenan's bullshit and power play?
you know,
But
I'm
not
gonna-
not literal, but figurative power play.
it had to be both. It had to be
Yeah.
Keenan. It had to be a battle of the egos because
Sure.
there was a time with Quenneville and Hull. Well, they didn't get along at all either.
Right.
Hull shot a puck at Quenneville in practice on the bench, so or near the bench.
And Quenneville shot right back at him, as the story goes.
So, I mean, I think it was a battle of it was a a clash of egos there, and Hull won, but damage was done there. I mean, Hull was in the doghouse a lot with Keenan.
Yeah.
Whether it was justified or not, who knows? Half the time maybe, but I love Hull. I love all his spoken egos,
Oh, yeah.
but I can see where he would piss off a coach quite a bit.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Egos. Clash of
Yeah.
egos. Oh, well, okay. So, I'm sure that the NHL has, their Comeback Player of the Year award. Do they do that by team as well? Their comeback player? I mean, not so much maybe doghouse. Okay, so I'll open it up from doghouse to injury. Comeback
Yeah,
from
to a
injury.
certain extent. The Bill Masterton is basically a comeback player of the year, and every player submits a nominee for it, and then the NHL selects the winner.
Who was it that won last year? Ottawa, right? Who was it? Who had the troubled childhood?
Bobby Ryan,
Yeah, Bobby Ryan. He won.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
NHL leading goal scorer this
Yeah.
year, Bobby
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah. So I mean that wasn't an injury, but that's kind of
Great.
a feel good story that he's been
Mhm.
he's overcome and done very well. So
I would say that my favorite Blues redemption story was Jake Allen. How bad did we ride him?
that's a good
I
one.
mean,
Yeah.
not necessarily with the team, because the team never seemed to lose confidence in him, but the fan base. God, we hated Jake, and won't we love to have him this year? Especially all the Huso haters.
Yeah.
Is that the lot in life of the backup goalie? Because and here's the other thing: it's there are some, and I've seen the vitriol be pretty awful online. Blues Twitter, the lounge, but
Oh my
there's
gosh.
some places that the lounge. That's a show, but the Blues subreddit, I love that place. That's a fantastic place.
yeah,
You
that's
Oh,
get-
we love Blues subreddit on this
Yeah.
show.
is that
oh, yeah.
sarcasm? Okay, all right.
No. We
No, I do.
no, we
It's
actually
fun.
do.
It's a fun place.
We love
Yeah.
Blues subreddit. It's
Well,
great
they're
stuff.
smart. They're smart fans, and they're compassionate to a degree when they're sober, But it's they're understanding and accepting, and they're smart fans. They're smart fans. So
Allen's downfall here was his salary. It was a salary they couldn't maintain and improve elsewhere. So he had to go. Which,
Right.
yeah, you can't sacrifice improving your forward position or your defense to keep a backup goalie. He makes. What I'm looking at now, he makes his cap hit is 2.
4.3.
Well, he's still under contract. right? With his previous contract, 4.3 with the Blues. So his new contract, and we'll pay him 2.875. So that's close to what he should be making. 2.5, 2.8. So that's better for him. It was just too much here. We needed the cap space.
Well, while we're kind of going down a rabbit hole here, I think there's a couple comments that I want to get to. We've got a Let's Go Blues Radio first here, Curt and Bill.
Oh.
Yeah. 200 and, you said at the beginning of the show, 286 episodes?
Yeah.
I think?
Yep.
Yes, 286.
We've got 2 comments of the show. 2 comments of the show. I can't decide.
That's unheard
I
of.
spent the last 5 minutes trying to decide, and I can't do it. So back when I was talking about Wayne Gretzky, and I would have benched him for the first 10 minutes of Game 7. Divide by 0 in the YouTube chat says Gretzky then leaves for New York.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Because he would have definitely left because of me. And then Adam Gold over in the Facebook chat says, Steven, paint Eric Brewer digging a puck out from the back of the net for Ponder. That is fantastic. Yes, because that is like the epitome of about 4 years of Blues hockey right there.
Yeah, a bad player on a bad team. One of the worst eras in Blues hockey.
Yeah, I listened to the last show, and I think the patron saint of fuck ups, Eric Brewer, was mentioned on that one too.
He rears his ugly head on this show every now and then because he's an easy target. I don't feel good about it, but it happens.
Hey, Curt.
Yeah.
Hey, Curt.
Yeah.
Eric Brewer was so bad.
How bad was he?
That used to be part of the intro.
I think it still is.
I heard that part.
I think it's part of the podcast intro. It's not part of the live show intro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So trade rumors with Dunn. You guys buying them? The rumor is first round draft pick or equal value NHL player. Okay.
Well,
Would you like to see Dunn traded, or where do you stand with this with Dunn?
Well, I'll just add real quick on this that it's important to say where these rumors are coming from, because typically it's fans, it's bullshit for the most part. Andy Strickland did tweet this earlier today, so
And
I feel like
Elliot
there's a
friend of the show.
tweeted it. Yeah.
Oh, Elliot Friedman. Yeah, Curt.
Elliot Friedman
right.
tweeted it
I'm
last
sorry.
night.
Friend of the show.
How
Andy Strickland.
dare I? Friend of the show, Andy Strickland, tweeted that out. Yes, and Elliot Friedman, as Bill said. I mean, I think there's some legitimacy behind it because of that. But, and I've said on the show before, I think Vince Dunn's not longed for a long Blues career here. I think with Scott Perunovich coming up and other players coming up, I think he's the guy that you could see moved eventually. But I don't want to see him traded right now. I think he's had some struggles early on. And we've seen Vince Dunn kind of reminds me of Jim Edmonds in the sense that he's always been a slow starter to the season. I'd have to look at his analytics. But if I remember, every year we talk about how Vince Dunn needs to be benched, but then halfway through the season, he's just flying up the ice, causing a ton of offensive chances for the Blues. So I think right now is probably not a good call to make a trade, but I do find it interesting that they might be taking offers.
I think I've said many times that I'm not against trading anyone as long as it makes us better now and in the future, because that's the whole point, right? So granted, there are guys that I like and I'd like to see stay, but if we're going to get better, well, I'd be selfish to. So I think I don't want to see Dunn traded unless we get better by moving him. And if we move him, then what do we need to get better right now? Stay-at-home defenseman, probably. A good stay-at-home defenseman. Can you get that for Dunn? I don't know. Maybe. Would you trade Dunn? Would you trade Dunn for Joel Edmondson right now?
Oh,
No.
He's having a good year with Montreal.
Everybody on Montreal's having a great year except for Victor Mete, who can't break into the lineup. And what I was going to say is, that there are a couple of young defensemen just like Vince Dunn. Dunn's had his chances and hasn't played well, but there are a couple of guys out there that haven't had their shot. Victor Mete being one, can't crack the lineup, and Travis Dermott on the Maple Leafs can't crack that lineup. I could, I think that the rumor being leaked is probably motivation to Dunn. Wouldn't be surprised to see him back in the lineup tomorrow night and see how he reacts.
I think he's back in the lineup,
but yeah, but I think that if there's a deal to be made, I don't think you're going to get a first round pick out of him. It's probably going to be have to be a like for like kind of trade, and you'd probably see a move for somebody like Mete or Dermott.
Is Vince Dunn not like the perfect player for Toronto? I mean, it's in terms of like.
Absolutely, he would be.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned Toronto. I'm like, man, yeah, I can see him going to Toronto, and I can see him making mistakes on the ice for Toronto. Exactly. I can see it.
I can see him making mistakes for another team. He should be in charge of trade negotiations.
Yeah, I mean, no, seriously, they've had a major hard-on for him since he beat him in overtime. His rookie year.
Yeah,
the local kid comes home and beats us in overtime. He's a legend.
Yeah, I that's interesting.
Real quick, we've got some comments on this before we move on. Brian Roberts in the YouTube chat says, "I don't hate the idea of trading Dunn. His type of defense is redundant on this team with guys in the minors who are cheaper. His pay raise next year is why he will be traded." And I will actually side with Brian. I think he's a trade chip at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a guy you move right now. So I think, and again, if he steps up after this sitting and plays unbelievable, and it's like, man, you could trade anything for Vince Dunn right now, I think the Blues hold on to him just because you want to make this, again, the window's open now. You want to make that Stanley Cup run. You don't want to trade guys.
How many years does he have left on his contract?
This is it.
This year. This is it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And the thing is with the contract too is that people were saying that, if you don't trade him this year, you lose him in the expansion draft to Seattle. He's not under contract. Yeah, he's not gonna. You can't lose a player you don't have under contract. Yeah. So I mean, they'd have to sign him and then lose him, which I don't even. I'm not. I don't. Yeah. So that's not a scenario that's doable. So he's probably. I mean, I could see him easily getting traded, like you said, Jeff, at the deadline. That would make sense to me. But I think he has to play, and he has to play better. But then,
yeah, if you move, there's no way. If Doug Armstrong is really, I don't know if there's like an NHL GM forum, but if Doug Armstrong's posting on this GM forum, hey guys, looking to trade Vince Dunn, hit me back. First round pick is what I want. He's getting laughed at right now because, he didn't look good in the bubble. He didn't look good now this season. You're not going to get top value for him right now. So there's no point in trading him at this point.
I think Dunn is worth a first round draft pick when he's playing well. Easy.
Yes.
I think Dunn is a fantastic defenseman when he's got his head in the game. He's just making mistakes. And I mean, bad passes, bad turnovers, just rookie mistakes he's making. And it's frustrating. And he's much better player than that. And when he's on, he's a fan. I mean, advanced stats guys love him. Advanced stats guys say he's better than Parayko. So, which, I mean, we've talked about before, advanced stats, pump the brakes, kids, on the advanced stats. Okay. I mean, their advanced stats are really cool to talk about, to supplement, eye test with players and how they're actually playing. But when you write your entire articles based on advanced stats or your entire opinions based on advanced stats, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, watch the games. I mean, just watch.
How's John Chaika doing, by the way?
Who's what?
How's John Chaika doing? I'm glad Bill laughed at that. Thank you.
I don't get
he was He was the advanced stat guy in Toronto, and the Coyotes hired him as GM, and he abruptly quit, and now the NHL has suspended him for 3 seasons.
Oh, for
nice.
why?
For conduct detrimental to the league is what they
cocaine.
say, and no, that's conduct expected of the league.
Fair point.
So yeah, I don't.
Cocaine with minors. Got it. Okay.
That might be it. But yeah, it's crazy story. Crazy story. A GM quits and then gets suspended 6 months later.
Wow.
Yeah, he quit right before a return to play, which was shocking.
Right. With a team that was playing way above itself, really needed all the support they could get.
So there's the comments are blowing up right now. I don't want to. Sorry guys, I'm not going to read them all because you guys are all awesome, but we just got a lot of show to get to. We got Race Fan Rocks 44. Would these two teams make this trade? Vince Dunn for Tyson Barrie? I don't think that's a straight up trade at all for either teams. I don't think either team makes that move. Andrew Tykeson, I like Dunn, but I'm not sure we can afford him. We have $22.5 million committed to 5D already. We will need 2 more at least, and I don't see him taking under 3.5. And again, I think that's where Scott Perunovich comes in. I think, again, you're going to see Dunn moved eventually, whether it's through trade or free agency, because the Blues know they've got a Perunovich. Now, again, if Vince Dunn steps up and plays amazing hockey, you could move Perunovich instead, and you could probably get a decent forward or a stay-at-home defenseman for him. But right now it is looking like it's going to be Vince Dunn on his way out probably within the next year or so.
Vince Dunn's making 1.875 this season. So the comment about him not taking less than 3.5 million, that's a stretch. He's in a prove it deal right now, 1 year, and he's not proven anything. So, I mean, he has to play a lot better to be signing a 3.5 mil contract in the offseason. That's going to be almost twice what he's making now. So, if he continues to play like he's playing now, he's going to make the same. He's not going to make much more than he's making now.
Jeremy Rutherford must be listening to the show because he just released his brand new article with a headline, "Wake Up Call or Trade Time? What is Vince Dunn's future with the Blues?" Tweeted 20 seconds ago.
Yeah. He is a friend of the show.
Jeremy, go ahead and message me, and I'll send you a link to join us right now.
No, we got. I can't do 5.
I will drop off the show to let Jeremy Rutherford come on and talk. So, Jeremy, if you want to join, we'd love to have you.
That'd be cool. I mean, for you to leave, not for Jeremy to be on the show. Anyway,
I agree. The show is much better without me.
I'm joking. I'm kidding. Love you, Jeff. So first period, Alex Tuck scores early for Vegas, 1-0, 2-on-1 goal. Mikla was caught pinching a little bit in the offensive zone. Binnington was maybe off his angle a bit, gave him too much glove, but it gets sniped under the glove side. And then Perron comes back and scores twice. So I thought this was interesting. Go ahead, Jeff.
I just want to ask Bill, was Binnington off his angle? I read that as he was cheating because it was a 2-on-1. I thought he was a little off his angle on that.
I mean, Tuck had speed coming in and released a hell of a shot. And Binnington's soft spot is that, between knee and elbow. But yeah, he definitely didn't have the angle, or else, that hits him. And yeah,
he's so good.
Was right. It wasn't close to being, the best goal that he's given up this year. Stoppable shot.
He's so good with positioning with his glove. You see so many because he holds that glove up high, and you see so many shots hit the glove where he didn't even close it. He hits it, and he's just positionally sound with his glove most of the time. But and I thought he gave him too much post there, and he was able to put it by the glove. But
I watched the Vegas broadcast last night, and the broadcasters kept talking about how the Knights need to stop shooting glove side because Binnington's going to stop them all.
Yeah.
And coming from an opposing broadcast, I thought that spoke a lot.
Well, the Blues broadcast talked about it too. They nonstop. He made a lot of glove saves last night. So
but the other thing you got to think about, with coming from the Vegas broadcast, is they've got some inside information with Mike McKenna being on their team. So
that's
friend
true.
of the show,
Mike McKenna.
Friend of the show.
Who's not a friend of the show anymore? My God,
that is actually why I'll admit that is why I watched the Golden Knights broadcast last night. Was I was wanting to get some insight from Mike McKenna, but unfortunately he was not on the broadcast last night.
So Perron scores twice, then to give the Blues the lead back. The second one was a power play goal. 5 seconds in, slap shot, screened by Schwartz, beats Leonard far post. That was good. I mean, I thought, after the first period, I was feeling pretty good about the way the Blues were playing. But as the game went on, it I don't know. I just too many mistakes, too many that led to Vegas scoring chances, and Vegas started piling up the shots. They had 40, what was it? 44, 45 shots, something like that.
46.
46 shots. I mean, that's just stupid. Yeah. So I mean, that you aren't going to win many games. You allow 46 shots to a team like Vegas. I'm happy they won this game. But I mean, the third period collapse was troubling. The penalties in this game were troubling. Some more loose D I thought was troubling. I don't know. I mean, your general thoughts on this game, guys, as far as the Blues plays. I know Jeff, you weren't happy last night with it.
No, I even said, again, Coach Ponder in the NHL, it's never going to happen. So those of you putting bets on that, don't ever expect that to happen. I was very unhappy with this game last night. I thought the overall defensive play was atrocious. I mean, honestly, I thought it was as bad as the Colorado game. It was just that Jordan Binnington stood on his head and played fantastic hockey and just bailed them out over and over again. And I thought, I mean, again, you looked at the second Pietrangelo goal, the one that tied the game. There's no reason. And again, let's not act like Vegas isn't a good team. Vegas is phenomenal, and they've got some guys who can move the puck better than anybody in the league. But there was 3 passes across the middle in that game game tying goal. That can't happen. You can't let that happen. And I bitched about this last show on the penalty kill against San Jose. Passes across the middle, you have to be ready for those, because that's what every team is looking for when they're on the offensive attack. And the Blues just let it happen. It just kept happening. And every time Jordan Binnington stood on his head except for that last goal. And it was infuriating. And I want to talk about, and we should make sure, even though I know we're running long here, we talk about Kyrou schooling Pietrangelo. That is a very important conversation. We will have that discussion. Don't worry, folks. But I will say, I feel like the Blues' hustle, getting back on the back check, and defensive play overall, blocking lanes and letting the players just have every opportunity to get a shot on net. And again, it's fine. It's fine if it's coming from the outside. A guy on the boards wants to shoot it at the net. He's an NHL goalie. Jordan Binnington's going to make that save every time for the most part. But when you're allowing passes back and forth and you're making Binnington move across his crease on every single offensive play, you're not playing defense correctly. And I thought the defense looked atrocious last night.
Well, Vegas found they found the soft spot between the Blues forwards and the Blues defense. a couple, and resulted in 2 goals. Pacioretty, I think Pacioretty had both of them that happened with. So yeah, and both times, the Blues defense, they were on top. I mean, one time I think the game tying goal was Faulk was too deep on top of Binnington, because he had Scandella backside. On the weak side defenseman was Scandella, who had his man. So Faulk is trying to block that pass, but Scandella's got that man, and Pacioretty slides into the soft spot between the forwards and the defense up high in the high slot, in the slot, I guess. And so Faulk should have floated up top. He should have floated out. I mean, granted, it's a fast developing play. Their tying goal was, and it's a bang bang tic tac toe pass. But Faulk doesn't need to be there. Faulk should have been out protecting that soft spot a little bit better, I thought, because backdoor was covered. So,
and Shen turned the wrong way and allowed the pass out into the slot.
Yeah.
It was Keystone Cops on that.
And Shen and I'm sorry, Schwartz. Schwartz also could have stuck with Pacioretty too if he wanted to. He kind of let Pacioretty go. So. Right. I mean,
right, and Kyrou was the one that looked defeated, like, I'm going to get back to the bench and Chief's going to kill me, and that's the one you can't put on Kyrou. I was going to say overall, with this game, I thought that both goaltenders were inconsistently great. Both goalies made saves that you shouldn't make, but then let up some of not to say that giving up 4 goals on 46 shots is terrible for Binnington. The Tuck goal, not the best goal he gave up, but man, how many great saves did he make? And go back to Robin Leonard, not his best game, but some of those saves that he made, the one he made on Sundqvist in the first period, reminiscent of Binnington and, against Nordstrom in Game 7 against Boston, where, he slides back across and, keeps it from going in short side. And then he kind of did the same thing to O'Reilly in the second period. Both goalies, I thought, had really, really great games at times, but just not consistently. And their defense definitely let them down, in front. But, when you started hearing the announcers talking about, the Blues have had some bad games, bad third periods here in Vegas, you knew it was going to happen, and Vegas just willed it. And it goes to overtime, goes to the shootout.
I do want to talk about Kyrou's goal, which Jeff brought up on where he and we mentioned earlier, Bill did, where he blocks Pietrangelo's pass at the blue line, which is funny because that was, if you had a knock on Pietrangelo when he was here, it was his blue line play in the offensive zone, not making the best decision every time, not keeping the puck in or shooting at someone's shins. And it happened last night. We talked about it a lot when he was here, and I'll be damned, it happened last night. Kyrou blocks a shot, goes the other way, outraces Pietrangelo, out muscles him when he gets to the puck, and then roofs Leonard. That was beautiful. Beautiful goal.
Yeah. That's it. That's exactly what Blues fans wanted to see. Steven, we haven't heard from you in a while.
Yes.
I know you watched this. What was your reaction when you saw that?
I have watched the highlights, and right now I am keeping up with I'm doing the social media wizarding right now for posting. Yes. Yeah. So somebody's got to keep on top of these 2 comments. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I hear you. But no, that was phenomenal. Just seeing, again, that's exactly what Blues Nation was wanting. We kept seeing before the game, people talking about, somebody's going to run Pietrangelo. Who's going to be it? Who's going to do it? And, I think a lot of us were just saying, like, okay, come on. Like, it's hockey. Nobody's going to take a dumb penalty just to run Pietrangelo. But that was better than anything we would have seen 20 years ago in the NHL. Seeing a guy, again, a rookie, a dude who we had no expectations for coming into the season, who has just been lighting the lamp left and right, to beat the former Blues captain and score a sweet goal. I mean, that was everything
Cup
every
winning.
Blues fan wanted. Yeah.
So I want to give a
First
shout out
captain winning
to
cup.
a friend of the show, Austin Lynch, for giving me the photo reference of the Annunciation, Alex Pietrangelo raising his face to the gods, for me to use as a photo reference for a future masterpiece.
Nice. Beautiful.
Excellent.
So thank
And
you,
by the
thank
way,
you, Austin.
you've already got it down. Friend of the show, Austin. Yeah, that's
Which
exactly
also
correct.
begs the question, I want to know, like Nixon style, who are the enemies of the show? You know, you guys and Curt, you can text me offline. So
yeah. We'll talk
Guys,
later.
yeah, private chat after the show.
yeah. Don't trust these.
You know what?
fuckers.
I'll go ahead and say it on here. Darren Kimball.
Darren Kimball is
enemy
not
of the show.
Yeah.
He does not like us.
He kind of called us out on the radio on their podcast when they had a podcast. They don't have it anymore. But
Which doesn't exist.
Suck our 286 bitches. I don't know. I'm just a joiner, so you know, when you're a jet all the way.
So third period collapse. Blues give a 5-3 lead. End up winning in the shootout as we move the show along. So in this game, in the first period, there was Mark Stone hits Tyler Bozak at center. Big brouhaha.
You know what?
Well,
I'm
not
sorry.
nice, but on social media.
Kurt, before we get into this, I'm sorry. I know this is going to be a discussion for everybody. I just want to add one thing, one moment in this game that I feel like deserves recognition. I thought overtime, I was and again, Coach Ponder being pissed off, I was very disappointed with the St. Louis Blues in overtime. I thought there was multiple break-ins by the Golden Knights where they did not hustle. They didn't hustle back. There was multiple times where we saw the Golden Knights breaking in on a 2-on-1 or a 1-on-1 or whatever, and there was just no hustle from the Blues. Even when they were making a change and the guy coming on the rink, he was kind of hanging in the neutral zone waiting for a pass. And it's like, dude, there's no guarantee a pass is getting to you. You've got to hustle back and make sure that there's not going to be a goal scored against you. I was and again, if you go back and watch the replay of this game, watch the bench area of the Blues. Watch like just the neutral zone. And when the Knights are breaking in, there are multiple times where you see the Blues just lackadaisically skating back into the zone. And that pissed me off more than anything in this game. So that is something that if I'm Craig Berube, I am just losing my mind. Win or lose, I am losing my mind in the locker room saying, what the fuck, guys? You've already allowed 46 shots on goal, and you're going to lackadaisically skate back into the zone? Not okay.
Yeah, well, you'd bench Gretzky 10 minutes after he turned the puck over, too.
Why I'll never be an NHL coach. Exactly. But still, something that I wanted to share my grievance about.
I was just going to add to that. I thought using Parayko in overtime as much as they did was a bit of a risk because his legs looked heavy late in the third period already, and you roll him out there, and then he has the one shift where he skates around the zone like 2.5 times, and then I think he's one of the ones that got caught on a 2-on-1 going back the other way. You gotta run your horses out there, but if your horse is out of gas, good luck. So I'm worried a little bit about his conditioning at this point in the season.
So the Stone hit on Bozak at center, which. Okay, so I'll read from The Athletic. This is Jim Rutherford at The Athletic. Said the Department of Player Safety reviewed the hit and concluded that it did not warrant supplemental discipline. The feeling within the department was that the hit itself didn't have much force and there was no head contact. The belief was the awkward fall was the cause of the injury, and while injuries can sometimes lead to lengthier suspensions, that's only the case if the play itself was deemed worthy of a suspension, and it was not. Rutherford tweeted that Darrell Armstrong talked with the NHL's player safety department on the Bertuzzo hit and Bozak hits that have or will result in our players missing games. And he said that the player safety felt that these types of plays should be handled by the officials on the ice. As an organization, we will respect that standard and will play within the guidelines that have been set. I thought that was something he felt like he had to say. Otherwise, he gets fined or whatever. But okay, so there's a lot to kind of unwrap here in the little amount of time we have left in the show. But so first off, I don't know what the NHL Department of Player Safety is supposed to be doing if they're going to defer these types, in quotes, of hits to the officials on the ice. It's like, what is your job? If you can't,
and the point of player safety is to like uphold the law of the league
to protect the players.
When the officials on the ice are not making those calls to a certain extent.
Even when the officials make the calls on the ice, the Department of Player Safety, the officials can't suspend a player. Department of Player Safety comes in, even if they kick a guy out of the game, they still look at it and can suspend him. So they should have that regardless.
But when it's only a 2-minute penalty or nothing at all, that's when player safety steps in and says, oh, well, the officials in the ice didn't make the right call, so we're going to make the right call. And they didn't. They didn't. I mean, okay, I will add again, like I said last week about the Bertuzzo hit. I think in a nutshell, I guess that is what I'm trying to say. The Bertuzzo hit, I didn't have a problem with. The Stone hit, I don't have a problem with, and maybe I'm just going back to the days of before when you could make these kind of hits. But when you set the precedent on the Sammy Blais hit, and you say that's a 2-game suspension, how the hell are these not suspensions as well? These are, again, Curt, you broke down, and for anyone who hadn't listened to the show last week, listen to the show. Curt has a great breakdown of the Sammy Blais hit behind the net. Devin Taves isn't looking, or is looking actually, and knows that the contact is coming. Yet he still puts his head down. That's the exact opposite of these two plays. Plus, in the CBA, it says something about how when there's an injury, that takes into account the player safety stepping in and making a suspension or a fine. Well, guess what? Devin Taves played the rest of that game. And Robert Bertuzzo on IR. Tyler Bozak not playing tomorrow. What the fuck?
Is that he didn't come back to the game, but is he not playing tomorrow? Has it been announced yet?
He's been ruled out for tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah. No, I'm in complete agreement. That I was going to make that same point that you just made. That you can't suspend to the injury every time, but in the case of Sammy Blais, there was no injury. He was set out for the concussion protocol, which is the right thing to do. But he came back and he had, Taves came back and had an impact on the game. But we've lost 2 players to injuries to dirty hits. Okay, Nichushkin, that's more run-of-the-mill boarding. That hit last night. Like, as I watched it over and over, I envisioned it in terms of listening to the old Brendan Shanahan, Brendan Burke recap videos. As the video shows, Tyler Bozak is crossing center ice, not suspecting any contact coming. Mark Stone goes out of his way to intentionally interfere with and make contact with Tyler Bozak, resulting in Bozak falling to the ice, hitting his head on the ice, suffering an injury. I could hear that. I could hear those old suspension videos, and that we haven't got that for either of them. It's just the league said, nope, we're not going to look at it. They got it right on the ice. Move on. It's bullshit.
I want to reread this one line from NHL Player Safety. The belief was the awkward fall was the cause of the injury. Well, you know what caused the awkward fall? The dirty hit. The dirty hit caused the awkward fall. And you know what? Their stance is akin to this. If I push somebody off of a cliff, I didn't kill them. The impact of the bottom did. So really, I'm innocent. Right? Because that's what they're saying. They're saying the ice caused. Right.
Gravity gets a 2-game suspension.
Yes, if you can do that. I'm sure they would if they could. But that's what they're saying. They're saying, no, it was the impact of the ice, the head hitting the ice has caused the injury. Well, yeah. When you board somebody, it's not the hit, it's the head hitting the boards that's the problem. You know, quite often it's not the actual contact that injures a player. Quite often it's the player then hitting the boards, or the head hitting the boards, or the head hitting the ice, or the head hitting whatever. That's where the injury happens a lot of times. I don't know. I'm not sure. This makes no sense to me. It's a cop out for some reason. It's like they can't. I don't know. I don't get it. It makes no sense. They're choosing to say no. It's not the hit because it's the after. He hit his head on the ice after. Well, yeah, it was the dirty hit that caused the fucking fall in the first place. Whatever. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
So do you think tomorrow night a Blues player is going to take a run at Stone and get suspended because the Blues did it?
You know what? I wonder if some of the Blues players think that what Faulk did made up for it. Probably not. I mean, I wouldn't. Did you hear Stone, the interview after the game, the press conference? They asked him if he expected to have to fight after that, and he goes, "No, I didn't expect to fight for that." I'm like, really? I mean, even if what you did, you didn't mean. I mean, I know he didn't mean to hurt Bozak like he did. I mean, most players don't mean to concuss another player and injure them, and so they're out for games. That's not the intent. They're just trying to hit somebody hard. But he did, and when you're a player, oh my gosh, you injure somebody, you better damn well expect to fight somebody. I mean, I know it doesn't happen as much as anymore, but if it does happen, you shouldn't be surprised. So that's just kind of, I mean, the Blues said there were a number of players. Shen was one of them that was going to fight him. So I would like to see the Blues do more because, I mean, the fight that Faulk had, Faulk didn't whoop him. I mean, he fought him. They kind of exchanged some punches. Nothing really happened. I'd like to see somebody put him through the glass, to be honest. Clean hit, just paste his ass against the boards. That's what I like to see.
But I'll say good on Faulk. He gained some points for me after that. That was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say he improved his standing with 99% of Blues fans, dramatically by that step up in that fight. Not the guy you would ever expect to fight, but man, it definitely endeared himself to the fan base last night with that.
It's good too, because I think it didn't, with Faulk's play this season, which has been very, very good. You could argue he's been the team's best player, definitely the best defenseman. So it's taken 7 games, pretty much, for Blues fans to love him again. When I thought, to be honest, it was going to take a lot longer, because after his season last year, I thought it was going to take a long time for fans to come around. I think the fans came around him quite quickly.
I think a lot of that might be sarcasm, to be honest. I think a lot of Blues fans are just like, Justin Faulk, I always knew he was so great. Like, I feel like that's kind of sarcasm, but at the same time, he deserves credit. Listen, the Blues defense has been awful. But he really has been one of the better players defensively for the Blues, which is great considering where he came from last season.
Let's see what we got left here. Let's see. I think we can kind of almost wrap this up unless we got any comments we want to address. So, what do you think, Jeff?
We've got Austin Lynch, Justin Faulk got so much praise from Blues fans last night. Brandon Toma in the YouTube chat. As long as we don't cause Reeves to drop the gloves with someone, I agree. Andrew Tykeson, recency bias plus short memory plus it's all relative. Talking about Faulk. Yeah, that's correct. AC Generator, Jonathan Taves equals enemy of the show. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Jonathan Taves is an enemy of the show. And I think we're gonna. I think that's probably good for the comments. But thank you. I mean, we had so many comments tonight. We had a lot of listeners, and I got to think a lot of them probably joined because of our special guest host, Steven. We kept you up pretty late tonight, but I really appreciate you coming on. I know Curt and Bill agree. It's been a lot of fun having you on, and again, the painting that I have hanging over here. It's one of my favorite masterpieces of my many Blues memorabilia things hanging up in my basement. So thank you
very much. No, thank you guys, and thank you for allowing the latitude of me and my co-host Captain Morgan to riff at will. So it's been a lot of fun, and I don't think I've been able to cut loose quite like this on a podcast, and it's fun. I think it's. There's so much about, getting across the company line and, the side of, the charity work and also selling the art. But it's also like, it's fun to be the color guy as well. So thank you for allowing the latitude on that. It's fun. Hopefully we can do it again. And, if you need any reads on manscaping or whatever, just let me know.
Once again, where can people find you, and what do you got going on coming up?
Yeah, so they can find me on StephenWalden.com, StephenWalden, and that is .com. And then you can also find me on Facebook. My Facebook page, my art page is Stephen Walden Art. Follow/like that one. I'm really active on that one, as well as Instagram at Stephen Walden on there. Make sure you sign up for the mailing list. I have got plenty of prints that I am going to be rolling out over the course of the next few weeks and months. Some things that have not been seen before. Some of my favorite and best pieces ever, I think, if you're Cardinals fans as well, which there's probably a few bit of crossover there. And also some, you might see maybe a Jordan Binnington holding up the cup print that has not been available until now.
Oh.
That will be available on the website in exclusive and highly limited numbers.
So once again, the giveaway that Stephen and we are doing is his print of Ozzy Osbourne, the famous mugshot of him in a blue shirt. That's a wonderful painting that he did. So we're giving away a print, and Stephen's giving away a print. So go to StephenWalden.com, sign up for the mailing list to be entered there, and then go to letsgoblues.com, and we'll post information on how to sign up, register, and enter to win to get the print that we're giving away for that too. So fantastic. Thank you very much, Stephen. We enjoyed it.
Guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. Me too.
Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming products. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with code LGB. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped. And by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment and your DNA. Visit rockandthatidlife.com and talk to Dustin today. Tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. That will wrap up episode 20 of season 9 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. For Jeff Ponder and Bill Day and Stephen Walden, I'm Curt Price. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues, Stephen. Give us Let's Go Blues.
Let's go Blues!
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at sport.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number one. Now there's